Welcome to Brave Inflexions. My name is Claudel van Eck. One of the key complaints that I keep on hearing from professionals in organizations and often also emerging leaders is that they find resistance within the organization when it comes to their ideas and recommendations. Now, of course, there are many ways that one can deal with resistance to your ideas within the organization. But today I want to zero in on just one aspect, and that is what I refer to as you don't always have to be the hero in the story. So what do I mean by that? We all want to take ownership of our ideas and we expect recognition for it, right? So when we've put an idea forward, we expect that people will see the sense and the value in the idea, that it will be adopted, that the organization will run with it, and of course that we will see glory at the end of the day. But often it doesn't happen like that. Often we find ourselves in a position where we've crafted this great idea, we've put it on the table, and it is being rejected for whatever reason. So in those times when we're battling with that, we don't have to make a decision. Either our idea is going to be stillborn, or we need to use a different tactic. One of those tactics that I often recommend is for people to accept the fact that sometimes you've got to take a stand back and identify the people in the organization who have the ear of those who would be able to make your idea become reality within the organization. Right? So your ability to understand who is who in the zoo, understand who the influencers are, who can influence the influencers, because sometimes it is a longer game that you've got to play, and then to marry that with the fact that your idea may then not necessarily be adopted as your idea. That the glory may end up being somewhere else. So here we need to have that very difficult conversation with ourselves and the ethical implications of either withholding your idea or not doing what you need to do beyond just putting the idea forward yourself, and to involve other people. So either on the one hand you decide you're going to do that, where you use other people so that we can get the idea implemented, or you make the decision to withhold your idea. Ethical implication in here, of course, is that you have been employed by the organization. You are being paid by the organization, and there is this implicit contract between you and the organization that you always work in the interest of the organization. No? And as leaders and as ethical leaders, one of course needs to see the ripple effect into society when it comes to the output of the organization, and you being within that organization, you're part of those responsible for the output of the organization. Therefore, it then becomes a very difficult question that you've got to ask yourself. Am I being unethical in my behavior if I deliberately withhold an idea from the organization? And does my responsibility end if I've put the idea forward and some person has stopped the idea, resisted the idea, because either that person is too short-sighted to see the value of the idea, or the person just doesn't like you and the person is just blocking any idea that's coming from you. And now if you make the decision that you would rather ensure that your idea comes to life and that the organization and therefore the broader society benefit in the process, being able to step back and say, well, I'm not going to get the glory in this. I may not even see the fruit of the seed that I'm planting, but it is the right thing to do. Interesting question to ask ourselves, but I think that it is important that one prepares yourself for the fact that being a courageous leader does mean that sometimes you've got to accept the fact that you're not going to be the hero in the story, or at least the obvious hero in the story. You will know what changes you've been able to effect in the organization. And over time, it will become very clear that the ideas originated with you. Sometimes we just need to give these things time, but do the right things for the right reasons. Well, I hope that has given you some food for thought, that you'll reflect on that, and whatever direction you want to take at the end of the day, these are tough questions that you've got to ask yourself. Well, if you enjoyed the video and you haven't yet subscribed, I ask you to think about subscribing to this channel and visit our website as well. Subscribe to the website. There are other things in there. I talk about other topics. Also have different contributors to the website. That is braveinflections.com. Thank you.